Hi and welcome to this channel. My name is Pearl and today I have a process video for you about my daughter dancing in her first competition. She did a team dance and as well as a solo, and this is about her solo. We weren't able to take any photos or videos during the competition, but our dance studio paid to have the professional photographer take pictures, and we got the JPEGs from that. So these are pictures from the professional photographer, and these are just some of the stances that I wanted to document for her first competition. She danced to the song Maniac, and she looks so tiny on that big stage. I do need to get a picture of that as well. I mean, you could barely see her, it seemed like. So I'm taking this Love cardstock that I really do love, and I wanted to show a lot of it, so I'm trimming this mint cardstock to 10 by 10, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down to this Love. But before I do that, I'm going to use my pencil and mark off where I'm going to be putting the pictures so I can type my journaling on there. I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers typecast, and like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with this thing because it doesn't want to roll up the cardstock very well. Just regular plain printer paper is easy to roll up, but the cardstock is heavy and I struggle with it every time. But I typed on here, Kaya, you participated in your first dance competition, dancing to Maniac. I think I was more nervous than you. You look so little on that big stage. You received Gold Elite, which is second place. I'm so proud of you and your passion for dancing. She had been taking private lessons for about 3 months, maybe 3.5 months before she performed this, and she was really nervous. And so we had gone to the competition the day before just so she could check out what it was like, because neither of us knew what to expect. So anyway, I'm gonna adhere this mint green paper to the Love cardstock. After I do that, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew around the edge of the mint cardstock. I like that it gives extra kind of a dimension to the paper. And now that I have a regular sewing machine, I want to use it all the time. I don't know how to sew on fabric, but I'm learning how to sew on paper. Slowly but surely, one step at a time. Okay, so now I'm placing my photos where I'm going to place it, and I know that I want to put some layers on there. And so I'm going to go through my scraps and start layering, and I'm looking at the different colors that I'm incorporating into the different layers. So I want to make sure that the bottom layer of each of the pictures are just a little bit different, using all the colors from that show in the hearts on the Love paper. And I want to bring all the colors from this kit in. This kit is so wonderful. It's the Bailey kit, the Felicity Jane February 2020 kit. I should have bought doubles of everything for this kit because I killed it so quickly. In any case, I'm framing this one where she's doing the splits on the red and white grid paper. I could have used that grid paper as a background too. I should have bought more. Maybe I'll just order more next time I order from Felicity Jane. I'm doing this, I'm looking down to see if I should use the pink paper or the other side, the black, for this second layer. I decide on the pink, and I'm going to layer that for the top left corner. And so I just need to do the bottom right, and I'm going to use this blue and white stripe paper. And I like the stripes to go horizontal, so that's why I moved it this way instead of the initial way that I had placed it on that paper. See how the light lights up and you can see exactly where you're trimming on this Caterpillar Pro? It's amazing, and it cuts so sharp, there's no frayed edges ever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick these down, and then I'm going to look at the different kinds of scraps I have left to the left side of my layout. You can't see them, but I have all my scraps on the left-hand side. And I'm going to look to see how I can layer these. I'm not going to layer these as much as I do my normal layouts because it's already so busy. I'm going to put strips to all 4 of the corners. So you'll notice when I do my layering, it's going on the top right corner, I'm going to layer so it's on the top right corner. On the top left corner picture, I'm going to layer it so it's on the left hand side. On the bottom left, I'm layering it so that it's on the bottom left corner. And on the bottom right corner, I'm layering it so the layers are on the bottom right. That way it looks like a square with all the layers. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. I always like to say English is my second language, so sometimes it doesn't come out right. It is my second language, but I started speaking English at 5 years old, so really this is now my primary language. But that's my running joke, especially when teachers ask me to do something. Okay, so anyway, I'm using those little strips that came with the kit that shows which, I need to know what that's called. When it shows which, what papers are coming in the kit, I cut those up and use those as well. That's what these 1-inch strips are. And they show a small portion, the cardstock is minimized, so it's a smaller, what's the word I'm calling? It's a smaller, it's minimized. So the graphics are smaller. There we go. Oh, you're gonna have to excuse me. It's like 6 in the morning and I'm trying to do this while my kids are still asleep. Now that we're doing all that distance learning, I'm with them like 4 hours straight trying to get all that stuff done. And that's just the teaching portion. Okay, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I finished layering, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my embellishments, and I'm not going to embellish this too much because it's already pretty busy, but I do want to embellish on 3 points of the layout, and I'm going to decide to do my embellishment points on the top left, bottom left, and in the middle of the top right, bottom right, and the middle of the left hand side. I find a tag and I'm going to thread it using crochet thread, and I'm going to put that on the bottom right hand side underneath, and I'm using my ATG. I like to use my ATG for scrapbooking, and I like to use the little Tombow Mono roller dot adhesive for Project Life because everything is so much smaller. So I'm using this and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put the love die cut there, but I end up not using that. I put Stampin' Up! Foam dimensionals for my die cuts and also behind the layers. So I do use the 5 hearts there under my daughter, and I think the reason I did that was because the love covered up her little shoe, and I wanted to see her full, I don't know what that's called when you put your foot straight up to do the splits in the air. I just wanted to see her foot on that. I'm using the letter stickers, the puffy letter stickers that came with the kit, and I'm spelling out maniac. And I'm going to put the envelope there, like a love letter, on a Stampin' Up! Dimensional and puffing that up there. And then the hearts to the bottom or the middle left. And I'm also going to put an XO sign to the left hand side of the under the layer of the top picture. Right now I'm taking the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals and I'm putting them willy-nilly all over the layers to add more dimension. But because I don't have that many layers this time, I'm not putting as many as I normally do. I'm using VersaFine Black Onyx and the Felicity Jane date stamp to date stamp on the bottom of my journaling. And then I'm going to use the Nuvo drops. This is in Dandelion Yellow, and I'm going to put 3 dots to the 3 areas of my embellishment clusters. Well, there's not really clusters because there's really not that many embellishments, but you see what I'm saying. I'm going to tap that to make it just a little flatter, and that's my layout. I hope you enjoyed this process video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please leave me comments down below, and I'll see you next time.